Well, good evening and welcome to Frenchtown, Montana, the Class A tip-off tournament here. Bigfork Vikings taking on the Butte Central Maroons here tonight. 6 o'clock tip-off. We're running just slightly behind, but only about 5 minutes. We'll get underway here. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals here from Frenchtown, Montana. And like I said, Vikings getting ready to take on the Maroons of Butte Central. I'll get your starting lineups. But I had a chance to sit down and talk with the head coach of the Vikings, John Hollow, prior to the ball game to find out his thoughts on yesterday's big win against Stevensville, and then about today's game. So let's see what he had to say here in Frenchtown. All right, welcome to the pregame show. We're here in Frenchtown, Montana. The A Tip-Off Classic start off the year with head coach John Hollow of the Vikings. And getting ready to play Butte Central. Yesterday, you took on Stevensville, the Yellow Jackets, and easily won that game 49-13. So talk about this team in this season and what you're looking forward to. You got a lot of returners on your team. So what is the outlook look for the Bigfork Vikings, who made it all the way to the semifinals in state last year? And you lost some players off that team, but most of your returners this year.
Yeah. I only know all these stats because I've been doing papers and all that stuff for the last couple of weeks, writing back to the papers. But, we returned 9 guys, all that played the state tournament last year. Got 10 guys that are all going to play substantial minutes. And, yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're experienced. We're a year older, hopefully a year wiser, a year more physical. And we got a long ways to go, but I expect great things out of this team. And, tonight we're going to get a good opportunity to see kind of where we're at. This is probably as good a team as we'll play this year, and I think we're up for the challenge. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you took them on last year in this same tournament, but you were missing obviously a few players, Levi Taylor to be one, and also Nick Walker last year. But now you got Walker, you got the height, he's returning. Epperly, you got Bryce Gilliard, as well coming back for you guys. So a lot of senior leadership on your team this year as well.
We do. I've never had this old of a team. We were doing it practice the other day trying to figure out. We have 13 juniors and seniors, which, again, I don't think I've ever in all my years, even in coaching in the AA, I don't think I've ever not had a varsity team that dressed a sophomore or a freshman. So we're very experienced. And, yeah, we returned, like you said, 9 guys, 10 guys, whatever that played in the state tournament last year. And, they're not babies anymore. We got 5 seniors that are going to be the guys leading the way, and then we got a bunch of really talented juniors that are going to be nipping at the buds to get in and give us some good minutes.
Yeah, you guys looked really good yesterday. I thought you guys really came out against Stevensville kind of overmatched. They had a lot of senior kids on their team, but you guys really put that pressure on them and caused a lot of turnovers, and you guys were able to get out and run the basketball a lot and run up the score. They didn't score, I believe, until the second quarter.
Yeah, they're in rebuild mode over there, so nothing to knock against them. But, yeah, we played good. We got a lot of minutes for a lot of guys. The last few years we've been a really good defensive team. The offense hasn't quite been there. This year I think we're a lot more balanced, so we're not going to rely just so much on the defense. But it was good. It was a good first game, 9 in the morning. Not how you draw all that stuff up, but the kids came out, they got it done. And again, today we're gonna face a lot stiffer competition, and we're gonna get a good idea of where we're at and what we got to work on. And there's a lot, trust me.
Well, speaking of, some of your players and returners, what's the status of Colin Wade? Yes. Got injured or hurt in practice the other day, and he's usually your point guard. So what's the status of him? Do you know?
Yeah, we'll find out Monday from his MRI what's going to go on, but we'll see Monday. We'll talk about it. I've tried not to think about the worst. I told him it's kind of pointless to sit and drive yourself crazy when you have no control of what's going to happen on Monday when the MRI is read. So we'll just see where he's at. Obviously, if we don't have him, it's a huge loss. He's, this will be his third year starting at point guard. Great leader, great teammate. The guys are hurting for him right now, but we'll see where he's at. We're not going to think the worst until we find out, and then we'll reevaluate Monday and kind of see what the MRI results tell him and where we're going to go with that as a team and where he's going to go with that as a player. So
yeah, it's he's had some tough luck over the years. Just a really good, solid player and a great teammate. So taking on Butte Central today, you played them last year. Looks like they got 5 seniors on their team. Their biggest guy is 6'4", and he's a junior, or 6'5", Peoples in the middle. So what do you guys got to do against Butte Central? I know you played them last year, but so how are they going to be this year? That was a pretty tough game last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably as good a player as there is in the state. So, we're going to do what we do. We are. When we go man, we're going to put Isaac on him and Cole on him, who I think are 2 of the best defenders in the state. So he's going to have to earn his points today. He's going to get his, we know that. I think he only had, it's funny when you say about a kid, he only had 19 last night, but, he only had 19. I don't think he shot as well as he'd like to. So he's going to come out ready to play today. They're a good team. We played them last year here. They won the state championship. I think they lost 1 or 2 kids. We played them this summer. I think we beat them on a last-second shot. So it's going to be a battle, and our kids know it. And we're going to have to play really good defensively, and we're going to have to score the ball offensively. This might be the best defensive team we'll play all year. So we're going to see if we've gotten better at some of the things we need to do on offense to put the ball in the basket.
Well, I'm looking forward to another a game today that's a little more closer than yesterday. It's kind of hard when you play those blowout games. You like it when it actually tests you. So we're looking forward to today's game against Butte Central and your team and see how you guys come out. As always, thanks for joining me on the pregame. I appreciate that, John, and take care of business. Can talk to me on the postgame as well. We'll talk about that later, but good luck and go Vikes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, James. Appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
All right, Coach John Hollow joining me on the pregame. Brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. What's keeping you from getting fit? Discount and guest passes, personal training, Pilates, 850 Holt Drive in Bigfork, Montana, 837-2582. Doug Malum and the fine folks at the Montana Athletic Club. And I'll be back here about 4 minutes till tip-off here in Frenchtown as the Vikings get ready to take on the Maroons of Butte Central here. And I'll give you back with your starting lineups here from Frenchtown, Montana. It's the Vikes taking on the Maroons in the Class A tip-off tournament in Frenchtown, Montana. All right, welcome back to Frenchtown, Montana, as the Vikings get ready to tip it off against the Butte Central Maroons. And your starting lineup's brought to you by the Flathead Lake Lodge, by Averill's Flathead Lake Lodge, where they proudly supported Bigfork athletics since 1945. And first of all, the starters for Butte Central, the Maroons, they'll have a 6'5" senior guard, number 12, Doogie Peoples. Excuse me, 6-foot guard forward senior, number 23, Kyle Holter. At 6'4", a senior forward, number 24, Eric Luce. At guard, a sophomore at 5'11", number 31, Owen McPartland. And then a 6'4" junior forward, number 44, Zane Moudry. For head coach Brody Kelly, assisted by Renzi Kelly, Alex Murphy, and Colin Hollow. For the Vikings tonight, for head coach John Hollow, starting 0, Wyatt Johnson. And we're just tipping off right now. Epperly with the basketball, along with Wyatt Johnson, Gilliard, Thornus, and Walker. And we'll get into that here. So Epperly, top of the key with the basketball. Man-to-man Demas. Three-point shot on the way from Gilliard from the right side. Misses it off the rim. Rebounded there by Butte Central. Bringing it up the court is Peoples. Peoples over the right corner. Driving. Up, under. Blocked there by Walker. Blocked again. This time by Thornus on the shot by Butte Central. And Peoples will drive. Look up under. A whistle blown, and it'll be foul called on the Vikings here. First part of the ball game. Number 12, Peoples, will go to the line to shoot 2. That foul's on Nick Walker, his first team foul on the Vikings. First shot up and good by Doogie Peoples. And he'll shoot another. Second shot up, good. 2-0 early on Anson Excavating scoreboard. Inbounded, Epperly across the timeline for the Vikings. Man defense by Butte Central. Epperly. Nick Walker, top of the key, back over to Epperly. On the right wing, looking to drive is Epperly. Up, under. He's going to get called for the player control foul on Isaac Epperly. That'll be his first and second team foul on the Vikings. 406-270-7384. Text me, let me know if you can hear me out there. Got a little technical difficulties fixed. Peoples, top of the key. He'll give it over to McPartland. Back to Peoples. Three-point shot, no good. That'll go out of bounds off of Butte Central. It'll be Bigfork basketball with 6:55 to go here in the first. Trailing 2-0 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. Inbound, Epperly with the basketball, top of the key in the front court. They'll get over to Gilliard. Gilliard right side, back to Epperly. Epperly top of the crease, spin move. Gives it over to Wyatt Johnson. Johnson driving right side. Tries to get it up and under. Knocked away by Butte Central. Epperly comes up with a loose ball. Under Thornus, off his hands. Moudry will give it up to McPartland. McPartland gets it out to Luce. Luce baseline drive, up, under. And going to call for the walking violation. The traveling violation called on 24, Eric Luce. He thought a foul was called. No, he definitely took steps. Inbound to Epperly in the backcourt. He crosses the timeline. We'll give it over to Thornus, loses it, taken away by Butte Central. And Johnson will come up with the loose ball, gives it over to Epperly. Epperly looking underneath for Nick Walker. Throws it too far, Luce with the basketball. He'll give it over to McPartland. McPartland in the corner. All the way up to Holter. Holter back out to Luce. Luce off the glass is good for Butte Central. 4-0 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. Epperly into the front court for the Vikings. Right side, Gilliard. And a player control foul on Bryce Gilliard. That'll be his first third-team foul on the Vikings. Inbound to Peoples. Peoples will give it back to McPartland. McPartland across the timeline to Luce. Luce top of the key. Will kick it over to Peoples. People looking. Guarded by Thornus. Out top. Looking to drive. Kicks it. Left side. Driving is Holter. Holter will give it back out to Peoples. 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. Peoples on the drive. Shoots the little floater up and in. And the bucket's good. And they'll call a blocking foul on Walker. That's his second, 14th foul. So Peoples to the line to shoot the N1 for the Maroons. Shot short. Rolls out of bounds off of Butte Central. And Bigfork basketball in the backcourt. Thorness on the near side. Inbounding to Epperly. 6-0 on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard. Epperly over to Johnson. Johnson on the right wing. Looking underneath for Walker. Kicks it out. Looking for Thorness. And a reach-in foul is going to be called on the Maroons. That's on number 31, Owen McPartland for Butte Central. That's their first team foul. In the front court, inbound to Johnson. Johnson. Crossover, top of the key. Gives it out to Epperly. Epperly near half court. He'll drive over the right wing. Looking underneath, finds Nick Walker. Walker, top of the key. Over to Gilliard. Gilliard on the left wing. Looking underneath. Back to Epperly. And the Vikings will take a timeout. 4:47 to go here in the first quarter. They trail 6-0 on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard. And a full timeout taken by Bigfork. And we'll take a timeout and be right back here from Frenchtown, Montana. The Class A tip-off tournament here between the Vikes and the Maroons. All right, welcome back to Frenchtown. 4:47 to go here in the first. The Vikings trail by 6. Inbound to Jack Jensen in the ballgame for the Vikes. Cole Konopik as well. Landon Byerman, Levi Peterson, and Pervecchio. Jensen driving. He'll give it up Peterson. Peterson on the drive. Shot clock violation on the Vikings. And turnover to Butte Central. And the Vikings will go in their press defense here with 4:32 to go in the first. Into McPartland. McPartland will get over to Peoples. Peoples on the right side. Trap defense. McPartland in the front court. He'll give it over to Holter. Far side Peoples. 3-point shot from the right side. Misses it. Jensen comes up with a rebound from Bigfork. Gives it up to Pervecchio. Pervecchio back to Jensen. Jensen driving. Looking. Pulls up. Shot on the way. In and out. No good. And coming up with it is Pervecchio on the rebound. And look at the ball underneath. That's the second team foul on the Maroons. And the first on 44, Zane Moudry. And Jensen to inbound. You give it to Cole Konopik. Pervecchio. Back to Konopik. 3-point shot on the way. Top of the key. Off the glass. Rim, no good. And rebounded there by Luce. Luce will bring it up the court. Give it up to Holter. Holter on the drive. Floats it in. Good. And quickly into Jensen. Stolen away by Peoples. Holter. Stolen away by Jensen. And Jack Jensen will bring it into the front court for the Vikings. Jensen. Konopik. Right wing. Driving. Up. Floats. Drops it down to Jensen. Baseline shot. Off the side of the backboard. No good. Peoples comes up with it for Butte Central. Peoples, top of the key. Looking, 3-point shot on the way. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded there by Moudry. And then Peoples with a floater. Good for Butte Central. Konopik, right wing, quickly up the court. Up, under, looking for Pervecchio. He loses it. And Moudry comes up with it, gives it over to people on the right side. In the front court for Butte Central. 2:59 to go here in the first. Baseline drive by Holter. Blocked there. And Cole Knopick comes up with a loose ball, gives it up to Andrew Pavecchio off the glass. No good, but he'll go to the free throw line to shoot two. 2:46 to go here in the first. The Vikings down 10-0 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. And Andrew Pavecchio at the line to shoot two. That is the second personal on number 31, Owen McPartland. The third team foul on the Maroons. First shot up, off the back of the rim, no good. And wholesale substitution as the starters, except Pavecchio, back in the ballgame for Bigfork. So coach trying to change things up. Epperly, Gilliard, Walker, and Thornus back in. And Johnson ready at the scorer's table to come in for Pavecchio after this free throw. Misses it. Out of bounds. It'll remain Bigfork basketball off the Maroons. And Johnson back in the ballgame. So the starters back in. 2:45 to go here in the first. And Epperly to inbound on the far end. Gives it up to Thornus. Nick Walker, top of the key. Isaac Epperly, three-point shot of the way is good. So the Vikings on the scoreboard. And pressure defense put up by Bigfork. And down 10-3 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. 2:30 to go here in the first quarter. Peoples will give it over to Keeley, who's in the ball game for the Maroons. Up under. We'll give it up to Sutton. Sutton on the drive. Back out to Peoples. Peoples on the drive. Kicks it underneath to Luce. Luce off the glass. And a nice pass right there into Epperly. Quickly. It's over for Gilliard. Gilliard right side, right wing. Looking, drive off the screen by Epperly. And Gilliard loses it out of bounds. It'll be Butte Central basketball. 2:04 to go here in the first. Peoples with the basketball. 12-3 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. The Vikings trail by 9. Over to Sutton. Get back out to Peoples. Peoples looking to drive up under against Epperly. Epperly blocks him. Peoples takes it back up. He gets fouled by Epperly the second time around, but Isaac blocked him on the first time. That's the second on Epperly, 15 foul. And at the line to shoot two, number 12, Doogie Peoples for Butte Central. First shot up, rolls around the rim, drops good. 42, Connor Pocovina coming in the ball game for Butte Central, replacing Eric Luce. Or Los for Butte Central. Second shot is good. 14-3 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Epperly, quick Johnson. Johnson, left wing, kicks it, skip pass. Gilliard, right side. Thornus, Epperly. Epperly, top of the key. Tries to drive, goes around his back. He's going to get held up and fouled. Foul be a number 23, Kyle Holter. That's his fourth team foul on the Maroons. Epperly, the inbound on the side. In the front court. Finds Thornus. Thornus off the glass. Drops it for two. Nice backdoor out of bounds play by the Vikings. Pressure defense. Peoples brings it across the timeline. 1:27 to go here in the first quarter. Peoples will give it over to Holter. Holter. Shot on the way is good by Jack Keeley for Butte Central. Epperly. Looking, goes to the right wing. Johnson, top of the key for Bigfork. Man-to-man defense by the Maroons. Over to Gilliard on the left side. Nick Walker, baseline. Nick Walker up off the glass. Good. Posting up Moudry. Walker for Bigfork. 16-7 now on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. The Vikes on the scoreboard, trailing by 9. Peoples out top to Sutton. Sutton drives right side. Will give it up to Keeley. Keeley looking, pressure put on. Top of the key. Thought about it. Fake the three. Three-point shot on the way from Keeley. No good. Rebound to Epperly. Grabs it. Picked up by Thornus. Thornus going to drive with the right side. Up. Floats it in. Nice job by Eli Thornus. And the Vikes within 7. 14 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And bringing it up, Keeley across the timeline for the Maroons with under 10 seconds to go. Gonna get it out to Peoples. Peoples looking, find it, throws it up, sinks it. 3-point shot is good at the buzzer by the Maroons. So 19-9 at the end of one. The Vikings trail the Maroons on your Flathead Lake Live scoreboard. We'll take a timeout here from Frenchtown, Montana. All right, we're back here in Frenchtown at the A Tip-Off Classic. And the Vikings, after one, 19-9, they trail the Butte Central Maroons. And Butte Central with the possession to start the second quarter here. Took a while for the Vikings to get on the scoreboard, but they did put up 9 in that first quarter. Peoples inbound. Same starters for Bigfork. And I'll get your lineup underneath. Moudry blocked. And they're going to call foul on Bigfork. That's on Gilliard. That's his second 16 foul on the Vikes at the line. Number 42, Connor Pokrovina, shooting 2. First shot up is good by Butte Central's Pokrovina. And second shot on the way. Off the rim, no good. Gilliard with the rebound. Gives it up to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline. Brings it in the front court. He'll give it out to Walker. Walker top of the key. Thorness up and under. He's going to go to the free throw line. Doesn't make the basket, but he draws the foul on 12 Peoples. That's his first 15 foul on Butte Central, and Eli Thorness at the line to shoot 2 for the Vikings. First shot off the back of the rim, no good, and he'll get one more. Cole Kanopic in the ball game for Wyatt Johnson. And Peoples, blood on his hands, has to go out. And 24, Eric Los comes back in for Butte Central. Here with 7:38 to go to halftime. 20-9 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. Second shot is good. 20-10 now. Inbound. Keeley with the basketball for Butte Central. Across the timeline. And kick it out. Sutton with the basketball. Guarded by Epperly. Sutton loses it, picks it back up. Over to Keeley. Loose. Trying to drive. Stolen away, knocked away by Kanopic. Walker comes up with it. Epperly. Gilliard. Underneath. Finds Eli Thorness. Misses the layup. Gets his own rebound and goes back up. But foul on the ground. And it's a 16 foul on Butte Central. It's the first on Connor Pokrovina. And Moudry comes back in along with Peoples for Butte Central. Epperly. Cole Kanopic up. Gets trapped underneath. Nick Walker. Walker looking to go up off the glass. Is good from the left side. Nick Walker scoring over Los. Peoples with the basketball, looking to drive. Cut off by Epperly. Off the glass and good. In quickly into Epperly. Epperly will give it up to Cole Konopik. Konopik left side. Loses it on the dribble. Peoples with the basketball. Peoples looking to drive. In and out, no good. And he gets fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Will Peoples. And that'll be the 7th-team foul on Bigfork. First one on Cole Konopik. It was 6:32 to go here in the first half. The Vikings trail by 10, 22-12 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. First shot up. Off the front of the rim and drops for Peoples. He'll get one more. Second shot is short. Walker comes up with a rebound, gives it up to Epperly. Epperly, Landon Byerman in the ball game for Bigfork now. Cross court, Gilliard thought about the three, top of the key. Thornus over to Epperly. Epperly looking to drive. Loses it, gets it back. Epperly, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Gilliard, 8 seconds to go. Over to Walker. Walker, top of the key. Epperly pulls up with 2 seconds. Hits it by Epperly. 23-14 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. Keeley, top of the key. Over to Luce. Peoples, baseline drive. Up, under. Nice move there by Peoples. He's a handful, that 6'5 guard for Peoples. Walker, back door. From Epperly, too high and out of bounds. A turnover by the Vikings. And Butte Center with the basketball. Up by 11, 25-14 now on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard. Peoples will bring it up for Butte Central with 5:30 to go here till halftime. Man defense by the Vikes. Over to Peoples. Get guarded by Byerman. Peoples looking to drive. Blocked by Thornus. Gilliard comes up with a loose ball. Up to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key. Looking to drive. Epperly pull-up jumper off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Butte Central. By Moudry. And that'll put him in the 1-1. That's the first personal on Eli Thornus. 8-team foul. So the Maroons, Zane Moudry will go to the line, shooting 1-1 for Butte Central. Off the rim, no good. Walker comes up with the rebound. He'll give it up to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline for the Vikings. Over to Gilliard. Gilliard on the left side. Looking for Walker underneath. Thornus, top of the key. Landry. Or Byerman. Too strong to Walker. Had him going towards the bucket. Throws it too high out of, and a turnover by the Vikings. And Jack Jensen will come in for Nick Walker with 4:45 to go here in the first half. Holter brings up the basketball for Butte Central. He'll give it over to Keeley. Keeley driving right side, right wing. Underneath, loose. Peoples on the drive. Misses it, and Gilliard comes up with a rebound. And he'll shoot free throws because they'll be in the bonus. That's a 7th-team foul on Butte Central. And the first personal on Eric Los. Peoples looks like he's having trouble with his shoestrings, keeping them tied. And Bryce Gilliard to the line, 1-1 for Bigfork. injury timeout right here. Officials talking about it. He's got to change his uniform because he's got blood on it. Yeah, he's got blood on his shirt, on his hand, so can't have that out there. He pulls his undershirt out, and Peoples remains in the ball game. Gilliard at the line, 1-1 for the Vikes. Shot up, good. He'll get one more. 4:28 to go. 25-15. On your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard, the Vikings down by 10. Second shot up and good by Gilliard. He makes them both within 9 now. Peoples with the basketball for Butte Central. Driving the left side, Byerman guarding him. Thornus grabs it, ball off of Moudry. Turnover to Bigfork. Jensen looking up underneath. Looking to drive, set it up. He'll give it over to Byerman. Byerman looking. Gives it up to Thornus. Epperly, or check that, Gilliard on the right side. Underneath to Epperly. Epperly going to spin. And they're going to call a player control foul on Epperly. That's his third, 9th team foul. No free throws. Epperly will have to go out of the ball game. Cole Kanopik. And Butte Central basketball with 3:55 to go here in the first half. Coach complaining that it was a flop. It looked like a little acting there. Got the call. Moudry with the basketball. Over to Peoples. Peoples driving left-handed. Byerman right there. Los looking to go up. Up and over. Misses the shot. Gilliard comes up with the rebound. Jack Jensen quickly up. Cole Kanopik. Kanopik underneath. Thornus up. Takes it up. Shoots it. Doesn't get the bucket, but it goes to the free throw line for 2. That's the second personal on 44, Zane Moudry. At the line for the Vikes, number 5, Eli Thornus, to shoot 2. First shot up, nothing but the bottom of the net by Thornus, and he'll get one more. The Vikes within 8 now at 25-17 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Thornus, second shot up. Finds the bottom of the net again within 7 now. So the Vikings battling back in this one after being down early with 3:20 to go. In the front court, Moudry. Over to Peoples. Peoples going to drive baseline. Cut him off. Knocked away. Up, Moudry puts it up off the glass. Scores it for 2. Jensen quickly up. Cole Kanopik. Finds Thornus. Off his hands, out of bounds. And turnover to Butte Central. Holter with the basketball for Butte Central. He'll bring it across the timeline. Gives it over to Moudry. Moudry, right side. Eric Los. Going to drive. Peoples, right side looking to drive. Up, floats it. Cole Kanopik goes and crashes it. Kicks it out to Jensen. Jensen with the basketball. Across the timeline for Bigfork. Finds underneath. Finds Thornus. Thornus goes up. Gets fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line. Fouls at number 12. That's his second. That is Doogie Peoples. 19th foul. And Thornus at the line to shoot 2. First shot up and good. And number 11, Joshua Sutton will come in for Peoples, who has 2 personals. And Thornus will shoot another. Shot up and good, so 4 for Thornus. Wyatt Johnson comes in for Landon Byerman. Nick Walker also coming back in, and he'll come for Bryce Gilliard. 2:37 to go here till halftime. The Vikes within 7, 27-20 on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard here from Frenchtown, Montana. Keeley will give it over to Holter. Holter looking underneath for Luce. Corner, give it up. Sutton with the basketball. Corner, Luce looking to drive. Jensen cuts him off right there. Sutton, guarded by Jensen. Top of the key, shot. Nick Walker comes up with a loose ball. Jensen quickly up to Konopik. Konopik knocks it out of play. It'll be remain Bigfork basketball with 2:09 to go. And Cole Konopik to inbound for the Vikes. Thornus saves it. Wyatt Johnson with the basketball gives it out to Jensen. Jensen, top of the key. 2 minutes to go here to halftime. Jensen over to Johnson. Johnson left side. Thornus thought about shooting. Konopik, three-point shot of the way. And player control foul on number 5. Eli Thornus as he drives in and dishes it to Konopik. 10th team foul, second one on Thornus. No free throws on a player control or team control foul. 1:48 to go. Keeley with the basketball. They give it over to Luce. And Johnson picks up a foul on Moudry. That'll be a team control foul. His third on Moudry and 10th team foul. As he tried to set the screen. Jensen across the timeline for the Vikings. Top of the key. Out to Walker. Walker going to look for Thornus underneath. Thornus going to get pushed as Walker tries to feed him on that high-low. And Thornus will go back to the line. That's the first foul on Jack Keeley. 10th team foul. So Thornus gets 2. Oh, this one rims in and out by Eli Thornus. And 42, Connor Pacarvina will come back in for Butte Central, replacing Moudry, who has 2. And Thornus at the line, one more. Off the rim, no good. This time, Keeley will come up the rebound for Butte Central. 1:20 to go here till halftime. Keeley crossover, going to give it up to Holter in the corner to Sutton. Sutton looking to drive. Back out to Holter. Holter over, giving up to Luce. Stole it away, knocked away, but Luce comes up with it. And a traveling violation. And Pacarvina, pressure put on by Eli Thornus. And Gilliard back in the ballgame for Konopik. Thornus into Jensen. 1:14 to go. Here till halftime. Jensen, top of the key, finds Bryce Gilliard. Bryce Gilliard looking underneath. Eli Thornus finds Walker underneath. Got to keep it up high. Those guys reaching in. Little tension underneath there between the two players, Walker and Luce. A held ball, so arrow points towards Bigfork. With 58.8 to go, Jensen looking at inbounds. Finds Gilliard off the glass. Drops it for 2. The Vikes within 5 now. Holter with the basketball. Looking underneath Sutton. Jensen guarding him. Los looking to drive. Double team. Pacarvina. Sutton looking to drive. Up. Jensen with the block. Holter basketball. Pacarvino stolen away. Gilliard on the floor. And they're going to call a held ball. Getting a little scrappy out there. 30.4 to go. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Holter to inbound. He gives it to Keeley. Keeley guarded by Johnson. Shot clock still on, just under what the game clock is till halftime by about a second. Holter out near half court. Looks like he's going to hold it for about one. He'll give it up to Keeley. Keeley guarded by Johnson. Oh, and Johnson couldn't stop, or check that Keeley couldn't stop. Pressure put on by Johnson. He travels. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 5.9 to go here till halftime, and the Vikes within 5. Jensen quickly up. Gilliard, three-point shot on the way. Too strong. Rebounded there. Walker couldn't put it back up, and that'll be halftime, and a great, exciting halftime by the Vikings as they trailed early by 11 and come back and pull within 5, 27-22 here at halftime on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. I'll be back with halftime stats here from Frenchtown, Montana, Class A Tip-Off Classic here as the Vikings take on the Maroons, and I'll be back here momentarily with your halftime stats. All right, welcome back to Frenchtown High School, Frenchtown, Montana. The A tip-off tournament here from Frenchtown as the Vikes are taking on the Maroons of Butte Central. And being down early, they came back. They're within 5 at 27-22 halftime. Brought to you by Gilliard Painting. And you can get a hold of Gilliard Painting for all your painting needs. And I'll get that information for you later. Take a look at your halftime stats. Look at it, first of all, for Butte Central. Obviously, their leading scorer. And they had 19 in the first, only 8. So Bigfork really stepped up the defense in the second quarter and held them to 8 after giving up 19 in the first. $16 by Peoples alone in the first half, number 12. Keeley with 2. Kyle Holter with 2. Eric Los with 4 on the first. Moudry scores 2 in the second, and 1 by, I want to get this right, Pashavina as well. So 19 in the first, 8 in the second for Butte Central. And then for the Vikings, taking a look at their scoring here. And they only scored 9, so they were down 10 in the after the first quarter, and they got down by at least 11, maybe even 12 if I remember correctly, but fought back. They're only down by 5 at halftime, and that's a credit to a great second quarter where he outscored him 13-8. Epperly with 5, 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Thornus, great job at the free throw line, misses 3 of them, but makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 8. And he has 9 to lead the way. 4 for Bryce Gilliard, all in the second quarter. Then Nick Walker, 2 in each quarter. Dylan Pravecchio even getting to the line, shooting 0 for 2 at the free throw line. So 9 in the first, 13 in the second, 22 at halftime. So a great second quarter and comeback by the Vikings after trailing by 10 after the first here. And halftime brought to you by Gilliard Painting. Thanks for listening. Thanks for support from Chip Gilliard and Gilliard Painting. And I'll be back here with the second half from Frenchtown, Montana, between the Vikings and the Butte Central Maroons. Excuse me. Don't forget, coming up later on BFS events, we'll have the Valkyries taking on the Lady Maroons of Butte Central. And looks like that game is supposed to tip off at 7:30, but they're running a little bit behind, like an hour behind in the other gym, so it might be later on, more 8:30 or 9. And I'll try to keep you updated on that when we find out what's going on there. Once again, thanks for tuning in to Bigfork Athletics and supporting the Vikings and Valkyries. I'll be back here from Frenchtown, Montana. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vals, 406-270-7384. Thanks for listening. All right, welcome back to Frenchtown, Montana. At halftime, we're getting ready to kick off the second half. It'll be Viking basketball to start the second half. You got Wyatt Johnson, Isaac Epperly, Eli Thornus, Bryce Gilliard, and Nick Walker to start for the Vikings. Very close, like Owen McPartland, Jack Keeley, Dougie Peoples, and Kyle Holter to start for Butte Central. So nearly the same. Inbound, Gilliard looking to drive, gives it up Thornus. Thornus going right side, up, under, shoots it short. No, misses it. Out of bounds. As Walker battles with Los. It'll be Butte Central basketball. Inbound. Los will give it over to Keeley. Keeley, top of the key. Gives it up to McPartland. Over to Los. Back over to Peoples. Peoples. Top of the key. Underneath. Los spin move on Walker. Can't quite get there. Keeley on the drive. Kicks it out. McPartland, three-point shot on the way off the rim. No good. Battling for it is Walker and Los. And off of Butte Central. Bigfork basketball. Here we'll give it up to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline for Bigfork. He'll get over to Gilliard. Three-point shot by Gilliard on the way. Off the rim, no good. Walker battling with those. And Wyatt Johnson in there to tie him up. It'll be Butte Central basketball. As an arrow points toward the Maroons. McPartland across the timeline for Butte Central. Guarded by Thornus. Over to Holter. Holter. Keeley. Right side Los. Three-point shot on the way. Off the rim. No good. Rebounded by Thornus. And a foul on Butte Central. That'll be the second one on number 23, Kyle Holter. And the first team foul on Butte Central here to start the second half. 27-22 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly gives it over to Walker. Walker over to Gilliard. Gilliard underneath finds Thornus. Thornus looking, goes up off the glass for two over Peoples. Eli Thornus on the Vikes within three. 6:30 to go here in the third. McPartland. Los. Peoples, baseline. Kicks it out. McPartland, three-point shot in the way. Off the rim, no good. Epperly right there battling with Holter. And the fourth personal on Isaac Epperly. Cole Konopik will replace him. So Epperly called for the foul and the rebound. With 6:18 to go here in the third quarter. Los, McPartland, baseline looking to drive. Cut off. Peoples, three-point shot from the left side is good by Dougie Peoples. Johnson will bring it up for Bigfork. Gilliard. Gilliard on the left side, left wing. Gets it out to Walker. Konopik, right wing. Top of the key, Gilliard. Gilliard looking to drive. Johnson fakes a three. Up, gives it Konopik. Konopik looking to drive. Johnson. Johnson on the drive. Gilliard trying to come up with it. It's off of Butte Central. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 7 seconds to go on the shot clock. Jack Jensen in the ball game for Johnson. With 7 seconds to shoot for the Vikings. Jensen. 4 seconds. Thornus going to get it up quickly. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Keeley. At least he got the shot off the rim. Just Thornus had to rush it. Peoples quickly. Keeley looking to drive. Cut off by Thornus. People guarded by Konopik. Konopik steals it away. Gives it up to Jensen. Jensen's going to get fouled. And that's going to be on 31, Owen McPartland. It'll be the second team foul on Butte Central. And that'll be the third personal on McPartland for Butte Central. Nice steal there by Cole Kanopik. Gold inbound, gets it up to Jensen. Jensen across the timeline for the Vikings. Gives it over Thornus. Thornus looking. Jensen, left side. Cole Kanopik knocked away by Butte Central. And reaching in and fouling is Holter in the backcourt. Not sure why he fouled him there. 75 feet from the basket. And it'll remain Bigfork basketball. And Cole Kanopik, the inbound for the Vikes. Inbound to Jack Jensen, who's in the backcourt for Bigfork. He'll bring it across the timeline for the Vikings. Looking to drive, left side, gives it up. Gilliard underneath, try to feed Walker, tipped away by Butte Central. Holter comes up with it quickly. Peoples looking to drive, up, under, no good. Actually, that was Los driving. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 4:45 to go here in the third quarter. The Vikes down by 6, 30-24 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. And Eric Los to shoot 2 for Butte Central. First shot up off the back of the rim and no good. He'll get one more. And 44, Zane Moudry will come back in the lineup for Butte Central. Landon Byerman at the table, check in. Off the rim, no good. Gilliard with the rebound, gives it up to Jensen. Jensen across the timeline for the Vikes. Going to drive over to the right side. Looking, gives it up to Cole Kanopik. Kanopik back to Thornus. Thornus, Cole Kanopik. And Thornus going to get called for the traveling violation. And 14, Landon Byerman will come in for Nick Walker. Keeley gets it into McPartland. Partland driving on Jensen. Peoples over to Moudry. Moudry, top of the key, will give it up. Peoples looking to drive. Kanopik guarding him. Underneath. Keeley, shot off the rim, off the glass, and drops for 2. Jensen quickly up for Bigfork. Across the timeline, looking to drive. Jensen loses it out of bounds. And turnover by Bigfork. It'll be Maroons basketball with 4:03 to go. 32-24 on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. The Vikes trail by 8. McPartland looking back door. Peoples loses it. Foul. Whistle blows. Foul's going to be called on the Vikes. Foul's on 23. Cole Kanopik, that's his second, third team foul. And Peoples at the line to shoot 2. Rolls around the rim, off the glass, and drops for Peoples. He'll get one more. Second shot up. Does the same thing and drops. 34-24, 10-point lead for Butte Central on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. Jensen in the front court. Cole Kanopik looking to drive. Finds up Landon Byerman. Back out to Gilliard. Gilliard. Spin move. Landon Byerman on the drive. Kicks it out. Thornus, three-point shot. No. As Gilliard tries to rebound. And Gilliard going to get called for the personal. That's his third 14th foul. As he's battling for the rebound. Peoples with the basketball. They'll give it over to McPartland. McPartland. Man-to-man defense by the Vikes. Peoples guarded by Cole Kanopik. Kicks it out. Moudry underneath. Feeds Los. Los goes up and under off the glass for 2. As Gilliard has to back off of those 3 personals. Jensen, front court, right side. Looking, finds Gilliard. Back to Jensen. Jensen to drive. Cole Kanopik. Looking up, under. Kanopik floater. And a blocking foul called on Butte Central. And Cole Kanopik should go to the line to shoot 2. That's the second personal on Eric Los. And 14th foul. At the line, shooting 2 for the Vikes. Number 23, Cole Knopick. Off the rim, no good. You'll get one more as the Vikes trail by 12 with 3:03 to go here in the third quarter on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard, 36-24. Knopick, second shot off the rim, no good. Rebounded there by McPartland. He'll give it over to Peoples. McPartland, Los looking to drive. Gives it over in the corner. Backside, Healy. Three-point shot on the way off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Thorness. Up to Jensen. Jensen will give it over to Cole Knopick. Thorness. Sloppy pass. Moudry driving all the way to the basket. From behind, Landon Byerman blocks him. It'll be Butte Central basketball. Underneath. And a good hustle there by Landon Byerman. Wyatt Johnson will come in replacing Cole Knopick. Sutton will come in replacing McPartland for Butte Central. Los looking underneath. Moudry, right side. Keeley, Peoples. Peoples off the glass, scores the bucket, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot the N1. So Nick Walker will come back in for Bigfork. That's the fourth personal on Thorness, 15th foul on Bigfork. And Walker comes in for Gilliard. Peoples at the line, shooting the N1. The lefty makes it. And Connor Pocrovino will come in the ballgame for Moudry. The Vikes trail by 15 after coming within 3. Jensen with the basketball. 2:15 to go here in the third quarter. Johnson, right wing. Thorness. Landon Byerman. Backdoor Wyatt Johnson. Misses it off of Butte Central. Bigfork basketball with 2:02 to go here in the third quarter. Jensen inbound. Eli Thorness. Shoots a floater off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Butte Central. Peoples with the basketball. Looking to drive. Los on the drive. And right there to take the charging is 14, Landon Byerman. So player control foul on 24. That's his third. Eric Los, 15th foul. Andrew Provecchio will come in the ballgame for Thorness, as Thorness has 4. Or check that, Dylan Provecchio. Andrew's his older brother. Jensen with the basketball. Looking over to Byerman. Byerman left wing, looking underneath. Finds Provecchio. Wyatt Johnson. Who are they going to look for to score here? Johnson over the left side. Foul's going to be called on Wyatt Johnson. And Butte Central with the basketball. 16 foul, first on Johnson. 1:25 to go here in the third. 39-24 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard. The Vikes trail by 15. Peoples. Johnson right there. Peoples off the glass, good. Backs him down, then goes off the glass with the right hand. Jensen for Bigfork, top of the key. Over to Byerman. Byerman looking for Walker underneath. He had him. Finally gets it to him. Walker looking off the glass. Too strong. Brought down by Moudry for Butte Central. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Peoples looking to drive. Brings it back out. He'll kick it over to Keeley. Keeley on the right wing. Keeley over to Sutton. Sutton left side. Moudry. Left side. Gives it up to Keeley. Top of the key. Guarded by Byerman. Peoples. Guarded by Johnson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Peoples, top of the key, crossover. looking to go at Johnson. Spin move. Shoots it off the glass, no good. Johnson comes up with the rebound. Shot clock off, 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Jensen with the basketball. He'll give it over to Johnson. Johnson rolled his ankle. He's going to get traveling violation as he falls down, rolling his ankle. Going off the court, tried to catch himself. Epperly will come back in for Bigfork. 8.9 to go. Yeah, remain Bigfork basketball, so no traveling violation. He just rolled his ankle. Epperly, top of the key, looking to drive. Shot on the way at the buzzer, no good as it hits the rim and bounces away by Pokrovina. 41-24 as the Maroons go up by 17, head to the fourth quarter on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard. We'll be back here from Frenchtown, Montana, the conclusion of this ball game between the Vikings and the Maroons from Frenchtown, Montana. All right, welcome back. Fourth quarter. It'll be Bigfork basketball to start the fourth. Knopic, Walker, Gilliard, Epperly, and Thornus in the ballgame for Bigfork. Sutton, Los, Holter, Peter, Mudry, and underneath Walker. Walker off the glass, scores two over Los. So Los, Holter, Peoples, Mudry, and Sutton in for Butte Central. Sutton, left wing. Crossover, gives it up to Los. Los, baseline, Mudry. Baseline shot is good. From about 15 feet out. 7:21 to go here in the ballgame. 43-26, the Maroons lead on the Gilliard Painting scoreboard. And Eric Los is going to be called for the blocking foul. That's his fourth. And 16 foul. So next foul on each team will put other team in the bonus because each team has 6 right now. Thornus to inbound for Bigfork. Gets it into Epperly. Epperly right side looking underneath. Trying to find Thornus. Gilliard back to Epperly. Epperly looking to drive. Brings it out top to set it up for Bigfork. Gives it up to Knopic. Picks up his dribble, gives it over to Thornus. Thornus on the right side, looking underneath. Walker gets it underneath, up, tries to go up. Gilliard, three-point shot from the right side is good. Nothing but the bottom of the net by Bryce Gilliard. And Bigfork will take a timeout. 6:41 to go in the ballgame, 43-29. And a nice three-point bucket there by Gilliard. And a full timeout taken by the Vikings. And we'll be back here from Frenchtown after this timeout. All right, we're back here in Frenchtown. The tip-off classic. Vikings taking on the Maroons. Trailing 43-29 with 6:41 to go in the ball game on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Butte Central basketball. Inbound to Peoples. Quickly up, we'll give it to McPartland. Holter. Bigfork looking to put their trap on. Throws it up, Keeley. Keeley looking to drive. Kicks it out. McPartland thought about the three. Kicks it over Peoples. Peoples looking to drive. Gilliard right there. Knopick on him. Man-to-man defense. Peoples, three-point shot on the way. Off the front of the rim, no good. And Gilliard comes up with a loose ball off of Moudry's hands. Isaac Epperly, left side, looking to drive. Gilliard, back to Epperly. Epperly going to set it up for the Vikes. 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. Walker, three-point shot on the way is good from the top of the key. Nick Walker with the three. So back-to-back three by the Vikes. 43-32 within 11 with 5:45 to go on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Keeley, front court, over to Peoples on the right side. 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. Peoples, top of the key. Give it over to McPartland. Thought about the three. Going to give it out to Peoples. Peoples looking to drive. Up off the glass on the left hand is good by Peoples. Quickly in to Epperly. Epperly over to Cole Knopick. Left side underneath Nick Walker. Walker looking off the glass. Shoots it too hard. Off the rim. Peoples with a rebound for Butte Central. Peoples across the timeline. Brings it to the top of the key. Looking to drive. Left-handed. Off the glass and good. Peoples, 6'5" guy for Butte Central is good. Cole Knopick looking. We'll give it over to Gilliard. Back to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key, guarded by Holter. Over to Epperly. Thornus. Knopick, three-point shot on the way, no good. Knocked away by Gilliard. McPartland comes up with it. Knopick comes up with a steal. And he'll get called for the personal foul. And that'll be the 17th foul. So McPartland will go to the line and shoot the 1-and-1 as that's the third personal on Cole Knopick. At the line, number 31, Owen McPartland, shooting 1-and-1 for Butte Central. First shot up and good. Vikings had it within three in the second half, but let them get out to 17. Second one is good. Now back to 17-point lead, 49-32. 4:42 to go. Epperly across the timeline. For Bigfork, gives it up to Byerman, who's in the ball game. Isaac Epperly, spin move, up, under, off the glass is good. As Holter goes down, no call there. Peoples over to McPartland. Bigfork looking to press. Moudry up. Thorne is going to block it, and Moudry makes the bucket. That is going to be the fifth on Thornus. 18th foul, and the bucket's good by Moudry. And Thornus will go out. Nice job by Eli. Jack Jensen in the ballgame for Bigfork. 51-34, 4:16 to go here on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Moudry at the line, shoot the M1, makes it. And 24, Eric Los will come back in the ballgame for Zane Moudry. And Epperly brings up the court. Epperly gets it over to Landon Byerman. Byerman back to Epperly. Three-point shot by Epperly. Off the glass. He takes it to the bank and scores it late. The drive through must be open. Scores it. Byerman tries to make the steal. Out of bounds off of him as Epperly banks that one in. Off of Byerman, it'll be Butte Central basketball. Gets it in. McPartland. Nick Walker trapping in the background. They missed an illegal dribble there. Keeley puts it up off the glass. Yeah, McPartland picked up his dribble, then was dribbled again. Nick Walker up and under off the glass for Bigfork. 54-39, 3:30 to go. McPartland. There's Landon Byerman battling. Trying to trap. And Bigfork putting on the pressure with 3:28 to go in the ball game. Peoples. Kanopic guarding Peoples, putting the pressure on him. Bigfork quickly up. Keeley. Right side. Keeley going to bring it out. Gets it out to Peoples. Peoples top of the key. 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. Peoples. Crossover. Reaches out. Cut off. Keeley with the basketball. Top of the key. Peoples. 7 seconds to go. Floats it up. Off the rim. No good. Los right there. Puts it back up twice. Makes it the second time as Walker went down for Bigfork. Kanopic. Left side. Isaac Epperly will pull it out, set it up, 2:43 to go. Gives it up, Landon Byerman looking to drive. Finds Epperly, right side. 3-point shot, no good. Byerman with the rebound, puts it up off the side of the backboard, no good. Out of bounds off Bigfork. It'll be Butte Central basketball, 2:31 to go. 56-39, the Vikings trail on their Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. Into Peoples. Peoples in the backcourt. Pressure put on by Kanopic. And Cole will get called for the foul, and Peoples will go to the line for a 1-and-1. .225 to go. Vikings trail 56-39 on the Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. Peoples at the line, shooting 1-and-1. Levi Peterson comes in the ball game for Bigfork, and 35 Riley Gelling will enter the ball game for Butte Central. Shot up, rolls off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Nick Walker. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1, as that's the 17th foul. That's going to be the fourth personal on number 23, Kyle Holter. And Nick Walker to the line for Bigfork, shooting a 1-and-1. 2:23 to go here in the ball game. The Vikings trail 56-39 on your Hanson Excavating scoreboard from Frenchtown, Montana. Nick Walker. First shot up is good, and he'll get the bonus, one more. Second shot by Walker is good. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Pressure defense put up by Bigfork. Kanopic diving. And Byerman's going to get called for the personal. Peoples back to the line. Double bonus this time. 10 team fouls. That's the first personal on Landon Byerman. And 10 team foul. So Doogie Peoples will shoot two. Double bonus time. First shot is up and good. They'll get one more. 2:20 to go in the ball game. And 16-point deficit, hard to overcome with 2:20 by the Vikings. Second shot up and good. Peoples just putting it on. He's probably got close to 30 points tonight for Butte Central. Epperly, right wing, looking, gives it up to Peterson. Peterson kicks it over to Byerman. Byerman looking to drive. Up, off the glass, gets fouled, and will go to the free throw line and shoot two as Landon Byerman drives it to the bucket. That personal is going to be on Peoples. That's his third. 8th team foul. Landon Byerman for two. First shot is up and good by Byerman, and he'll get one more. 2:07 to go here, and Byerman's second free throw is on the way and good. 58-43, 2:07. Vikings trail. Peoples. He's going to get fouled by Kanopic. Back to the free throw line, Peoples will go. And that'll be the 5th one on Cole Kanopic. And number 1, Tristan Hurd. He's got to check out with 5. That's Cole's 5th. Tristan Hurd in the ball game for Bigfork. 2:05 to go in the ball game. Second shot up. And first shot, up and good. 59-43. Second shot up is good as well. 60-43. 2:03 to go in the ball game. Epperly. Landon Byerman. Gets it up. Walker. Walker baseline. Pulls up. Partially blocked there by Butte Central. Out of bounds off of Peoples. It'll be Bigfork basketball. Landon Byerman will inbound here on the near side. Gives it up to Epperly. Epperly, left wing. Looking. Tristan Hurd. Levi Peterson. Gets it over to Byerman. Byerman looking to drive for Bigfork. Up, under, off the glass. Misses it. Peoples comes up with the rebound. 1:28 to go. Peoples around his back. Knocked away by Byerman. Butte Central saves it. Keeley over to Holter. McPartland back out to Peoples. Top of the key. 22 seconds to go on the shot clock. 1:12 to go in the ball game. Holter looking to drive. Going to give it to Peoples. Peoples looking to drive. Under 10 seconds to go. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Peoples crossover. Kicks it out. Baseline shot. 3-point shot by Keeley is good. Epperly. Vikes down by 20. 63-43 Epperly. Levi Peterson looking. Tristan Hurd, 3-point shot on the way, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Holter with 35 seconds to go. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Holter in the front court for Butte Central. McPartland will give it up to Peoples. Peoples top of the key. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 23 seconds on the game clock. Holter, McPartland, Peoples. Looking to drive with 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Off the glass to the left hand is Peoples. 6 seconds to go. Shot clock off. McPartland to hold it. Won't shoot another. That'll be your final. 65-43. Is your final on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard here as the Vikings lose this one. They came within 3, but not able to hold on in the third quarter and go down by 22, but that Peoples really had a lot going on there. I'll be back with your full game stats here from Frenchtown, Montana. The Vikings lose this one 65-43 to Butte Central. All right, welcome back to Frenchtown, Montana. The Vikings take that one on the chin, 65-43. And post-game brought to you by Flathead Lake Lodge, Averill's Flathead Lake Lodge, where they proudly supported Bigfork Athletics since 1945. And for Butte Central, they had 19 in the first, 8 in the second, 14 in the third. .23 in the first. Leading the way is Peoples. And Holter had 4, 6 for Los, 2 for McPartland. Moody had 7, 1 for Pocrovino. And adding up Peoples, check that off here momentarily what Peoples had. But he had 11 in the first, 5 in the second, so 16 at halftime in the second half, 10 in the third. So 26 after 3. And 10 in the third. So scores 36 for Butte Central. He's a 6'5" guard and really, really good. So he really took it to Bigfork. Taking a look at the Vikings and how they finished out. Really only 5 guys on the scoreboard. Leading the way is Nick Walker with 13, 11 by Thornes, 10 by Epperly, 7 by Gilliard, and 2 by Byerman for Bigfork. They only had 2 points in the third quarter after being able to pull within 3. It's kind of difficult, but the better scoring in the fourth quarter. .19, so their downfall was, again, the first quarter and third quarter where they fell behind. So the Vikings take this one on the chin, but a learning expense. Butte Central was the state A champ last year, and losing this one 65-43 on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vows from Frenchtown, Montana. I'll take a time out here. We'll be on the air. We're going to be running behind, at least an hour behind, for the girls' game scheduled to tip at 7:30, probably around 8:30 or so, just like last year. And I'll wrap things up here as the Vikings lose with 65-43 in Dibot. We'll see you next Tuesday as the Vikings host the Eureka Lions, 4 o'clock freshmen, followed by JV, then varsity at home. The Valkyries will be on the road, heading to Eureka. And then we have a doubleheader next Saturday as they take on the Mission Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs at home. So you want to get into the gym and check these teams out, make sure you head on down to Bigfork High School. Once again, James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vows from Frenchtown, Montana. Your final 65-43 as Butte Central beats the Vikings here on Saturday. Thanks for tuning in and have a great night wherever you are. We'll catch you here in a little bit as the Valkyries take on the Butte Central Lady Maroons here in about an hour or so. Thanks and